Hello and welcome. You're at the couples table. You're sitting at the couples table, and my name is Tom.
My name is Heather.
We did that backwards, but it's okay. The Couples Table is a live stream podcast here on Heather's channel. So join us.
For better or worse.
For richer or poorer. In
Sickness and in health, till death do us part. Okay, so
sorry,
can you guys listen
we were distracted.
Can you hear this?
His passion is showing through when he makes his videos. You can see the enjoyment he gets from making the videos, and all the videos that he does, I always love because he puts so much effort and humor into
Can you guys hear this?
It's Raphael talking about me.
So this is Raphael Ludwig. He is in our stream sometimes, but he's live on his channel right now, and he's talking about Tom. And so he's like saying all these cool things about Tom, and Tom's like, wee.
Yes, so if my head is larger than normal today,
Louise
that would be
is double
why.
dipping in the live streams.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta go.
Okay.
All right.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Thank you guys for being here. Look at this. We got David Margatai. Managed to make it 2 in a row. Who even? I don't know.
Who is you even?
Who is you? Bob's here. Say hi. Have a fun stream.
Good
It's
night.
bedtime. Hope you have a great night. She's got some cool stuff coming up planned.
Sweet.
There we go. I want to fix that there. And of course we got Dominic. I have this mixer thing. made a video that included it a while ago, but it's a sampler that I bought years ago, and then I brought it to school years ago because we just used it in our thing, but like no one's been at school for a year, so I was like, oh, I should just take my sampler home. So that's what the dog barks were all about. And then we got Luis up in here double dipping on live stream.
Mr. Camera Junkie.
So that's there we go. Hope you guys have been doing well this week. Hope all is well. Oh, Bald Bearded Builders is like a bomb. Yeah, the timer always stops at 1, and I should set it to auto like switch scenes.
Switch the scene.
But I haven't done that yet. Heather is the one who has been spending a lot of time with Ecamm lately.
Yes, I'm excited.
And learning all about.
Join me for my stream tomorrow.
She's like got some cool stuff happening. What time's your stream?
Noon.
On
my tutorial channel.
On Heather Ramirez.
Yeah.
So, right before our stream today, Heather showed me a tweet, and I tried to find it so we could pull it up, but I couldn't find it. So you just have to take my word that it exists. But it was from a guy that was like doing a timeline of the pandemic.
Here.
Oh, you found it. Okay. So it's from at Superman Tracks. And it says Pandemic Day 25. Are you bringing it up?
Yeah, we can bring it up.
You know what? It's worth it for those of you who are watching. We can see it.
Who is it?
It's at Supraman Tracks. Not super, but Supraman Tracks. Man Tracks. And then there it is. It's right there. So, let's see here. I'm not set up to totally share.
You gotta screen the share.
Boom. Here we go. Good enough. So here we go. This was the tweet from him. Look at us in our tiny little window over here. There, that's good. This is for my school classes, so that's why the window is funky. Oh wait, there's a couples table live share. Look, we already got it. Look at us go. There we go.
You gotta scroll down a little bit.
Full screen though. Sorry.
It doesn't show the whole like.
It says, oh, sorry, I didn't know we were screen sharing. There we go. Close enough. It's good enough, you guys. This is Pandemic Day 25. I made bread, smiley face. Day 95. I sure do miss my friends. Day 310. The White House appears to be under the control of a shirtless man in a Viking helmet. Day 330. Reddit's coordinated attack on Wall Street is going as planned. And this is hilarious, except also that it's entirely accurate for what has happened over the last year. And that doesn't even really scratch the surface. So we had been talking about pandemics. You know, we every once in a while we do sort of a check-in on the couples table. And we kind of thought, you know what, this is a time for that because it's been sort of kooky lately. Heather's uncle passed away.
2 of them.
You've had 2 uncles pass away this month.
In a week, yeah.
Yeah. And I have had 2 uncles and an aunt get COVID, and of course a bunch of friends and students and stuff as well. Fortunately, we've been safe so far. But that's, you know, if you remember back in March when it was like, oh yeah, this thing, oh my gosh, I heard somebody like had it, or I knew a friend who had a friend who had a friend who had it, and now it's like, oh, my uncle passed away. So
yeah, it's like getting closer and closer.
Yeah, and that's on top of 10 months of isolation, on top of all the uncertainty, on top of all those things. It just sort of compounds. And so we just sort of want to check in, see how everybody's like really doing in pandemic times.
Yeah, the other thing is, like, here in California, the governor just lifted restrictions, so, like, we can do outdoor dining again, and, you know, businesses can kind of open at a lower capacity and stuff, and it's, like, weird to see, considering, like, we've just had a death in the family, 2 deaths in the family from, you know, people who were relatively healthy, and it's just, I mean, I don't know, I would love for us to be open, but I'm also, like, I want people to be safe, and I think people underestimate. I think people never think that they're going to get it or that their loved one is going to get it. And as soon as you start thinking that you're never going to be part of the statistic, it's a very naive way of thinking. So,
well, and there's so many cases with like, you know, people having very mild symptoms or no symptoms. And so it's like, well, if I get it, like it'll suck for a week and then I'll be fine. But also you could die and you won't know until you get it. And that's the really scary part.
Yeah. Oh, Daniel's dad passed away back in December. I'm so sorry, man.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Daniel. my thoughts are with you, which is like the least helpful thing to say, but they are, I promise. So that's like, you know, you can make all the jokes. There are the positive stuff, because lots of times we've talked about positive things, like we get to spend all this time together. We're very fortunate that, like, you know, I don't know what would have happened, you know, if this happened when I was a teenager. Sorry, Dominic. I don't know what would have happened, you know, back when I was like living in my first apartment that was all tiny and terrible and cockroach infested and stuff. And I was just stuck there for 10 months. So, you know, we're fortunate. We've got like our house and our dogs in our yard, and, you know, we each have like a room to make videos and do work in and stuff. So that's really nice. And I know that that's not how the situation has been for everybody, but also it is exhausting, and the uncertainty is exhausting. And my job is also a big part of my day job, is being supportive for hundreds of teenagers, and that's exhausting. And like, you know, and then when you see stuff like family members getting sick or passing away, and then other people are like, oh, but we're gonna go hang out. Like, I know, but we'll be fine. Like, we'll be fine. And it's like, but if everybody has the attitude of, yeah, you should stay home, but like, we're just gonna go do the one thing, it'll be okay. But everybody has that attitude. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, whatever, to each their own. People can make their own decisions. But I think what we wanted to talk about today is just like how we're just going to do a check-in. Like, how's pandemic like been for you? I don't think anyone anticipated that we would still be here nearly a year later.
You said June. You were like, I think June 1st things will be open.
Yeah,
I was like, that's pretty
that
conservative. So I agree with you. That's like a long way down. And now it's almost February.
Yeah, we're June. I said June 2020, not 2021.
Yeah,
but that's
maybe
what
June
it's looking
2021.
at.
Yeah.
So how is it where you guys live, number one? And number two, how are you staying motivated? Or have you discovered new ways of being motivated? I think a lot of the people here, a lot of us are entrepreneurs, a lot of us are business owners or content creators, and we all have, you know, if it's not a full-time thing, it's a side thing where we have to be creative for the thing that we're trying to do. And I think it's, you know, it's really hard. It's hard to be creative. You kind of need to be in a good mood. You need, like, you know, no distractions. Like, there has to be kind of this like recipe for you to be creative. And it's hard when like there's so many things kind of stacked against you.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of a delicate balance, because I know for me, if something is wrong, I can't do like, if, you know, I don't know. If Heather's upset or the dogs are sick or like there's something wrong, then I can't do something that's creative. But at the same time, there are other things that if they're wrong, like if it's work stress or like, you know, 10,000 news stories about pandemic, coming in here and making a video about a microphone or like a camera or something is unbelievably like refreshing and therapeutic. So that has also been a great way to de-stress, is just go, okay, I can spend hours and hours working on editing or doing something like that. So, I mean, I think creatively I've made more stuff in the past 10 months than the previous however many years combined.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite things about the pandemic, which is such an odd sentence to say, but like, is being able to connect with all of these new friends who I feel like I would have never met. Like, even you, I don't know if it would have happened anyway, but I feel like because we're, you know, pre-COVID, I met people very often, like especially in person, because I was always going to events. I was always like, it's very normal for me to meet new people. And obviously we haven't met anybody, you know, physically in person in a while, in a very long time. But like, you know, all you guys here on the couples table, like Raphael, I feel like I know you.
He's here. Oh, wow.
He's here. I feel like I know you. And Luis, I feel like I know you too. And, you know, I as weird as this sounds, I dream for the day that we can all like meet in person at VidCon or something. But
I have a dream.
I think that's been a really cool, it's inspiring to see, especially when I'm feeling unmotivated. It's just been a super tough week, super tough couple weeks for me. But, you know, seeing other people create and do live streams or, you know, kind of just discover this creative potential in themselves is very inspiring and motivating for me. So,
yeah,
I don't know, that's been cool.
That's one of the positive things. But it's so like, it feels like in our case, you and I have this thing because it happened when our dog Ollie passed away in March, like right at the start of everything.
Yeah.
Where that was a really devastating blow, like equally to both of us. And that was tough because we were both knocked down, but for some reason this thing happened where, like, even though we were both just so out of sorts, if I was breaking down, Heather could just somehow pull it together and like comfort or be like, hey Tom, you should eat food today, or that kind of thing. And if she was breaking down for some reason, like, I would be composed and able. I don't know what that was, but that was, one of the vows that we mess up at the beginning of every show, is for better or worse. And going through the worst, there's been a lot of the worst, because then you'll go through stuff like my dad passed away, which is obviously a blow to both of us, but like it kind of tilted towards me more, but then you were able to be supportive, and then your uncle passing away, and so it tilts towards you, and it's this thing of like, it feels like it's constantly been one of us nursing the other.
Yeah.
Which I guess is life, but it feels like a relentless thing. We talked about anxiety, I don't know, a couple months ago, and it feels like, for me personally, a lot of those things are really starting to compound. And like, even if nothing is necessarily happening, just the on-edgeness of like, what is the next thing that's going to happen? Just trying to process the stuff that has happened, that's like, has a lingering effect, even if nothing is immediately happening to me at the moment. So that's definitely how I'm feeling.
Yeah. That's traumatized, is what you're feeling there, babe.
Yeah, that's probably the case.
Steven's here. What's up? I'm all of those things, I think. Let's see.
Luis is in just every stream and clubhouse
I know, man.
that exists.
Like, literally, your presence is the best. Like,
people are gonna think you're like a YouTube bot, but then they're gonna realize you are not.
Yeah,
you're not a bot.
You're actually like super awesome. Indeed, in 2020, we have made more digital connections that have turned into real life friends. Yeah, like, yeah, I feel that way too.
For sure.
It's so nice. Reggie's here. Happy Friday. VidCon 2023. Yes. I mean, that would be so cool. I know so many, all of us are like everywhere.
I just don't remember hanging, like.
Remember when we went to VidCon?
Yeah, I do, but I don't. Like, I don't remember what it's like to be in a room of screaming
I
people.
do remember for some reason. Like, it doesn't, for some reason, like, that doesn't feel that, like, when I think about it that way, it doesn't feel that.
Because I was in my classroom today alone, and I was literally looking at all the chairs and going, like, I can remember if I try, but, like, the thought of, wow, there used to be 49 people in here doing stuff, and it's just been me.
You know who else is killing it? Gary Cantrell.
Oh, yeah.
Meeting people in person will be cool again. Until then, so happy for everyone I've met online. I think it was on Twitter where you went to like a Mr. Beast like burger place. How was it? I'm just curious. So this is like something I feel, I don't know what I feel about it, but I've never watched a Mr. Beast video.
I haven't either.
And like,
I've watched like 2 interviews.
I don't even know what his name is.
Jimmy, I know that.
Oh, it's Jimmy.
I think. I don't know. I call him Jimmy. He said it's fine.
That's funny. But, I think it's cool. It's interesting to see what he's able to do, just because he's like, I still, have this mission of trying to build a creator middle class. And he's like completely on the other end of the spectrum. Like, insane,
well, that was, we just talked about Susan Wojcicki's letter for YouTube came out this week, where she was sort of talking about where YouTube is, where it's going. I thought it was a really good letter. She kind of addressed a lot of things in terms of YouTube communication and whatnot. But they said that it was, I believe the number was, YouTube contributed $19 billion to the United States GDP last year, which she said that's the equivalent of 345,000 full-time jobs. And I was like, that's amazing.
Insane.
But that was not 345,000 full-time jobs.
Yeah, it was like 10,000.
Like in Raphael's stream a few minutes ago, he was talking about like, videos pulling in AdSense of in the lifetime of the video, a couple $100 maybe, versus someone, it's David Dobrik makes $250,000 a month from ad revenue. So there is no middle there. There's very few of the people who are making like their middle class wage purely from AdSense.
Yeah. Let's see. Mike says, I'm a software developer. I'm preparing for the isolation part of a pandemic my whole life. Well, I'm a gamer, so same thing. Let's see.
I watched a video from Matt Diavella this week because they just moved to Australia, and it was like his first video after. I don't know if it was a video. It might have been his Patreon, but it was the first thing he posted after they did their quarantine, got moved into a place, and are like settled. And he was like, it's weird to live in a country that has like maybe 2 cases a day, maybe sometimes 0. So people like wear masks, but otherwise like it's just not really a thing. And when you see friends, you hug each other. And
that's what Reggie's saying. You guys should move to Australia. We don't have much COVID here. You guys can stay in my barn. Dude, I'm down to stay in a barn.
It's an Airbnb. The B stands for barn. But he was saying, what Matt Diavella was saying in the video was how, you know that you're not shaking hands. You know that you're not seeing people. You know they're not like hugging people the way you normally would. But after so long doing those things again, just feel like it immediately like emphasized the lack thereof as soon as it started happening again in a way that like they weren't even aware of themselves. And that's something I'm curious about is when and if this is all over.
When it all turns back on.
Like going into daily, I find myself getting more anxious just in normal situations like grocery stores and stuff, which I know there's a different context to going to the store and stuff nowadays, but like just being around people or traffic, like because we're not around groups, I just feel more anxious and like there's more to process. Whereas prior, I would have not thought about that. Anyway.
Josh, Tom, in your last video at the end, were you playing the drums?
In my last video, that would have been the one from today? I don't think so. I did a video today that I'm editing that has a lot of music parts in it.
Yeah,
which is cool. I don't know if I don't think I've done a drum thing.
Okay, Preston, don't they have giant spiders there? This is why I cannot do.
Yeah, so the other day, okay, listen, I'm going to spill the tea right now. So sometimes at night, this thing will happen where a tiny moth will fly inside the house. Not like, it just, moth, like the one that goes near a porch lamp or whatever. That moth will fly inside the house. And it is a, like, code red emergency. Like all hands on deck to handle Moth 2021 #neverforget. And then the other day, because Heather doesn't like bugs.
I can't with the bug situation.
Australia might not be the place for you. But a couple of days ago, I brought in, since we have a lot of hardwood and stuff, I always bring in the shop vac to vacuum. And it's kept out in the garage. And so I carried it in, set it down, and then I took my hand off. And I didn't realize that 2 inches away from my hand was a giant lizard. And okay, when I say giant, I mean... How long do you think the lizard was?
Like, your hand.
Yeah, the length of your hand, probably. Yeah. And not a harmful, just a lizard, like an outdoor desert lizard just sitting there. And I didn't know, and I was tired, and I was just kind of looking at something, and suddenly I see this creature there, and I was like, ah! And, like, freaked out. And Heather was like, I didn't know you...
oh, my God.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know you hated lizards. I was like, I don't hate lizards. There's a lizard in the house. And I didn't know, and in my head, I was like, if this thing gets spooked, it's just going to, like, take off into the wall or something.
Dude, I would do a lizard, a snake, a rat,
Heather
like
was just
any
there,
other day.
Like, watching cool as a cucumber as I, like, escorted the lizard outside.
But if it were a spider or moth or something like, I can't.
A ladybug,
butterfly, forget it. Like, I don't know why irrational fear. I mean,
it doesn't have to be rational. Yeah, that's what Mike said. Australia, you don't need COVID. You've got things that will kill you. Daniel said, being a creator is a career skill set for me and not a job when I work for a fast food place. There's so many skills from creative endeavors that transfer over.
Daniel Garifo, I'm going to look you up right now, man.
Uh-oh, what's happening? That transfer over into other things that you wouldn't expect. And that's one of the biggest benefits, as a lot of you guys know, about making stuff is it's not just like, well, I made a good video or I recorded a podcast or something, but it's like I've learned how to express myself. I've learned how to communicate more clearly.
Oh, look at him using Ecamm. There he is.
There it is.
What's going on?
Oh, your mic sounds great.
It really does. Anyway, so yes, thanks, Daniel. Good point. Oh, but he said he got to do some drone work of a time lapse of speed service work in just a couple weeks. Oh, yeah. It's like people who do creative stuff. I've either heard them go, they've never been busier, or, it's completely dried up. Dominic said tea time with Tom. And Luis has got us. Don't forget to thumbs up that live stream. That's what Raphael says at the beginning of all his videos. Appreciate the early thumbs up.
Okay, so Luis, I read that Clubhouse is getting like another round of funding, and one of the things they're looking into is like moderator privileges, or like becoming an official moderator. I'm sure you know about that. And then also monetizing creators. They're gonna have like a tip jar or something like that.
Oh, interesting. It's so funny. Like with Clubhouse, I've been seeing like people's reactions on Twitter, and it reminds me so much of what you always say about Facebook, because it seems like everyone can have their own experience, obviously depending on who you follow and what rooms you go into. And so some people are having like the best time of their lives, and other people are like, I never want to open that app again.
So here's my thing with Clubhouse.
Yes. What is your thing with Clubhouse?
I know this is like a personal thing. Like this is something I will struggle with till the day I die. But I don't know if it's imposter syndrome, but I just feel weird going into, like, of course I see all the YouTube rooms, the rooms about YouTube, and I just feel like so unqualified to be there.
Oh, geez. I
can't even. But... And so I look for the rooms that are about anime and movies and like stuff that I'm interested in, that I just want to participate in these conversations, or at least like hear what's going on. But like I always see the creator rooms, and when you go on, I'm like, wow, that's so cool. I wish I could do that. And I could never, like, I can't. I don't know what it is.
You just have to click the join room button.
I know, but like then I think, like, what if I'm invited to the stage? Like, I don't want to be on the stage.
That would be interesting if you could put like an
can't.
Available or unavailable to speak thing. Like, I'm just listening, because there are a couple times when because there's certain people and then you jump in, and as soon as you pop in, those be like, oh, come up on stage just to contribute. But if it's like, oh, I only have 6 minutes and I'm just sort of checking in, I'm like, I don't want to I can't really contribute to a conversation right now, but I want to listen in and see what's happening. That'd be kind of an interesting thing. Like, yes, I'm up for speaking, or I'm not. But the funny ones are when there's the rooms where it's like 800 people and like 200 people are on the stage, and you're just like, good Lord. There's more people on stage than in the audience.
Anyway,
that's funny. But I've heard, I mean, it's been funny, because sometimes I'll go into a Clubhouse room and I'll be like, God, this is like, I could be in this room all day, or I get sad when they close it. And then other times I like go in and leave in 2 seconds, because I'm like, oh no, I do not like this at all. So, it depends. Luis says, Heather, you can tag him for a room and I'll moderate for you.
That's cool.
You can help so many new YouTube creators. So you run the room and he handles all the dirty work. And you just focus on the person-to-person connections. I like that. Oh, look, there we go. I couldn't get the comments to pop up right.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Gary says 30 minutes sometimes just to get through introductions of the speakers. Well, the other thing is that every time I logged in, okay, so this is going to sound really weird coming from me, who's scared to go on stage, but I also started to feel like a lot of people were starting to say the same things.
Yeah, I mean,
at first it was, oh wow, this is like insider information, like that's cool. And then like, I don't know, it's just.
Well, I mean, there's definitely like, you can see the people who are starting to be more like
it almost just is like this free consultations.
Yeah, or I mean, I was going to say people becoming more well versed in it, where now they're understanding, like, it's not just sort of like, oh, I got thrown in a room, hey, let's talk about this thing, but it's more like, okay, here's my room, here's my strategy, the same way you would do on YouTube or something. Yeah. And, I'm not that into that, but I just leave those rooms.
James says, I want to get on Clubhouse, but the exclusivity of it is off-putting to me. I will say, I really think it's just a matter of like what is it called? A startup only having the funding to create.
I think it's like how Gmail was invite only at first, but I would agree with you, because I'm a big fan of everything open for everyone. Yeah. But
Android's coming out in 2-3 months.
I actually currently the invite only system I like, because it does seem like there's a little bit of a like a litmus test you have to pass to do it. It's nice when you look through things and like everybody's an adult for the most part. Like, that's different. That's not like any other social media platform.
The reason why I think that Clubhouse is here to stay and why I think it will actually make it as a social media platform is because there's no other social media platform that doesn't have a profile feed. Like every other social media platform has a profile feed. You have your Twitter feed, you have your Facebook feed, on Instagram, obviously you can post your pictures and stuff like that. But on Clubhouse, I can't go on your profile and see what you've said before. It's just like your basic description info and that's it. And I think that allows people to have organic conversations where someone who has 3 million followers on Instagram or YouTube or whatever can be in the same room as someone who has none. And I think that's a cool dynamic that is literally not being offered by any other platform.
I wonder if they're going to keep that or if it's like you said, they just didn't have the resources to put that kind of thing in play. And if they get more money, then it'll kind of look more like a traditional social media platform.
I hope not.
I hope not.
I mean, because I think they really are leaning into drop-in audio only, like no recording.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Luis said Clubhouse only has 9 employees. I didn't know that.
That's crazy.
They must be so busy. Someone send them snacks.
Patrick, way off topic. I gotta know if Heather is as big a ska fan as Tom. Also, have you watched the Pick It Up documentary? Favorite groups, RBF and RXB here. Real Big Fish and RXB. What is that?
RX Bandits. Oh. She knew Real Big Fish though. I'm so curious about this question right here.
No. I mean, like, I don't think anyone is as big a ska fan as Tom.
Oh, there are, but not like, around here.
I don't even come close. I like ska, sure, but it wouldn't be the genre I pick. Like, if I want to listen to music, it's not the genre I go to for. Like, when Tom's listening to it, I like it. When Tom plays it, I like it. I've gone to concerts. I have fun.
Yeah.
But... yeah, I'm always been more of electronic EDM.
Heather went to the Back to the Beach music festival with me in 2018, which is a 2-day ska festival.
2-day ska festival, guys.
It's amazing. Oh my gosh. Like, I can't even begin to describe
I have seen the Aquabats way more times than I need to, but I like them. They're cool.
They're great.
But like literally, I've never, like even for the bands and like DJs and people that I like, I haven't seen them 4 freaking times. And I've seen the Aquabats.
The smaller ska bands are also pretty accessible, or at least pre-COVID were. But to answer your other question, yes, Pick It Up documentary is great, narrated by Tim Armstrong. If you haven't heard it yet, go check out The Final Parade from Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, which was released this week. It's a brand new song, and it has like everybody on it, and the song is longer than Bohemian Rhapsody. So you
should do a collab with a ska person.
I'm scared. I'm scarred.
Oh, of course.
Where is it? There it is.
I think it's cute that Tom likes ska. It's like one of the things I like about him because he just seems like, oh, I'm Mr. Buck. I'm like a teacher, and like here I like punk rock and ska and like.
There's a whole philosophy. I mean, I could go down the music rabbit hole of like music influence and inspiration, but
I think it's so cute that you're like a ska head. I think that's so adorable.
Well, it's just, I don't know. It was just the thing that drew me to it as a kid was like, it's bright, it's fun, it's upbeat, it's like colorful. Like if you watch that Real Big Fish, Everything Sucks music video directed by the MC Back Commander himself, it's just like, I mean, literally lime green guitars and crazy bright colors and bad green screens and stuff. And I was like, yes, this is for me. I love it.
Anyway, let's see. What are we doing? Ska rule.
See.
Supertones were my jam back in the late 90s. Gary says, I could never get into ska. Was always a pop punk or emo screamo guy back in the
punk,
day.
huge fan.
What's pop punk?
Like Blink-182, Sum 41.
Oh, you love them.
Yes.
That's like your second favorite band, Blink-182.
I just love pop. Well, I don't know. It's also a Travis Barker thing.
This discussion was the best thing that I've listened to in weeks. See. Let me tell you, this one he'll start a whole new podcast just about ska, let me tell you.
Oh.
Look at him. He's holding it back.
I am holding it back for some reason, but you know what? There you go. If you want to get through the pandemic, go listen to some ska.
Okay. Here's what I know, okay? I don't even know if they count as ska, but if you don't know what ska is, because I remember, I know this is weird, but like, you know, back in my dating app days, this one guy was like, oh, what kind of music do you like or whatever? And I think, you know, I said pop EDM or whatever. And I was like, what kind of music do you like? And he was like, ska. And I was like, excuse me? Like,
excuse me?
I've never heard that word in my life. It's not, I've heard of punk rock,
country,
yeah. I thought it was a typo. It was like, what is ska?
Ska.
Yeah, ska. And it just sounded, I was just so confused. And then, like, I can't believe how much of a part of my life it has become.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So anyway, if you don't know what ska is, or, you're not sure about, maybe you've never heard it before, Real Big Fish is very, I think, like, kind
palatable.
Of signature. Yeah. But I really like the Interrupters. I don't know if they count, but, like, they're new. They're not like, okay, from the 90s, 2000s. Like, they're relatively, like, new band.
Yeah, 2010s.
Yeah. And it's, like, almost pop-y.
I mean, they're the Interrupters.
Oh,
we're going down this road. The Interrupters are so good because they took like,
here it is.
They just brought what was missing. They filled in a gap in the conversation that had been missing. And the backstory there, I mean, there's a bunch of them. I saw them open for the Aquabats like 7 years ago, and that was my introduction to them. I thought they were amazing. And then I think there's a poster from that show somewhere on this wall. And then the Interrupters kind of blew up, but also they were, like, one of the people who helped them get to where they are is Tim Armstrong from Rancid and Operation Ivy, and the Interrupters have a very distinct Rancid Operation Ivy sound, and they're super collaborative with everybody. It's just like, and they're just so good. Like, it's just so good. I love it.
Marvel says, I feel like I'm too old to like EDM, but I love it.
It's
never
too old. Yeah.
What annoys me is when people
elderly
hate
dance
on
music,
EDM. I hate when people hate on EDM. It just makes me sad. NFG self-titled.
Newfound Glory.
Oh.
I like Newfound Glory.
I remember them. The ska cast. Well, what a discussion. Talk about roller coaster of emotions. I listened to a Tom Buck ska cast.
That's my fourth podcast now. It's just about ska.
Like, I can't tell you how much I've heard. Like, this is Tom's, like, second love is ska.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's most of what The Simpsons and ska. That was a lot of what made me who I am.
These are things that we don't have in common. Like, our music tastes are, like, what is it called? Our media taste, even.
Yeah.
Like, because I've never watched an episode of The Simpsons in my life.
I mean, I've only watched the first 12 seasons repeatedly. I do, though, I will say, Ska Tune Network on YouTube, also adding a lot of great things to a conversation recently. Goldfinger, yes.
Tom should play, like, more ska in his videos, right?
I'm trying to incorporate. Get ready for the video. The video that I edited today ends with a Rancid cover. So, like, there we go.
If someone asked me to find ska in an essay, I would fail miserably. I would say it involves wearing Converse shoes and knee-high socks.
There's a lot of different ways that you could, I mean,
express your...
That's not wrong.
That's not what Tom wears, though. I mean, you wear Converse, but you don't wear, like, shorts and socks.
No, but I mean, like...
But also, okay, so here's the interesting thing, the enigma of Tom, because I've been to enough ska concerts by this time to know what ska looks like, ska people. You don't look like a ska person to me. Wait, okay, first of all, though, he is skinny. And I think there are a lot of skinny ska people.
Skinny ska. But this is what they say in the song, skinny ska. And it's pick it up. Anyway, what was I going to say? The thing is, though, for whatever reason, especially like Back to the Beach, huge, insane mosh pits, which like, I think of ska as more like goofy dancing friendly, because it's also like less pushy, shovey, screamy. And there's a lot of pushing, shovey, screamy at, like, the shows
every show I've been to.
There's always like the circle of groove, even at Aquabat shows that are going nuts.
I know this is like so racist. I know this is racist. But I'm sorry. I feel like why a mosh pit?
How's that racist?
Because I think it's a white people thing who can't dance, so they run around in circles.
That makes sense.
You don't see mosh pits in like anywhere else.
You don't need, but to just. To just skank it up, you don't need to know how to dance. You just gotta move and not punch anybody. It's great. And then you can go to the front near the stage and not get kicked, and that's wonderful.
And what I do like about ska, though, is for some reason there's a lot of choreographed dancing, which I appreciate.
Okay. There's so much. I mean, we have seen Suburban Legends together, but there's so much.
Oh, I like them. They're fun.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Look at him glow.
Sorry, this is a conversation I didn't know I needed to have. This is how I'm handling the pandemic. But like one of the things about ska, so okay, black and white checkers is a huge thing, which is like all goes back to black and white unity, racial unity through diversity, all this stuff. I love that. Are you kidding me? And there's a lot of like, if you go to the music itself, there's so much like, there's just so much to enjoy, and
that's not my perception of it. My perception is, for some reason, I think like not bad things, but like people who like drink a lot and like do drugs and stuff. I don't know why I have that perception.
I mean, other than the people who would enjoy like legalized
maybe it's emo
substances.
rock.
But yeah, I mean,
where I get that impression.
A lot of ska stuff is like tied into like, well, I shouldn't say this, but it can be tied into like straight edge culture, which is the exact opposite. It's like specifically no drugs and no drinking and no anything.
Like the Aquabats, they're very clean people. It's not clean crew. People, but anyway,
sorry.
Anyone remember Through Being Cool by Saves the Day? That album changed everything for me. Got me into
I had a friend who was really into that.
The ska cast must happen. I will rep it like a
Give
mother.
Give it that 5-star iTunes rating.
Let's see. EDM, electric, caffeine. Did I get a C+ on this?
Yeah, you passed. You passed. Just think third wave ska, punk rock with horns, simplest definition.
Mosh pits 2020 kill those effectively.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
Okay, and the thing with
people
mosh pits,
sweat on you.
like, I just
okay.
So I like the ska shows. They're fun. I can see how like, because I have so many thoughts.
Wow.
First of all, you were going to ska shows as a teenager, driving all the way to LA, which let me tell you, there's no way my parents would have allowed that.
Yeah,
so I don't know what that is. Yeah, that's crazy. Second of all, every ska show that we've gone to, there has been a mosh pit that has broken out. And it's so unfortunate because we've gone to a lot of Aquabats, and I think their music is kind of dancey where you can actually like
you could have
move
fun and do stuff.
To rhythm and stuff. But the mosh pit breaks out.
Big circle.
And it's like painful. Like it's not like, it's like a legitimate like, are you trying to hurt people?
Right.
Because it really looks like you're trying to hurt somebody.
The pushy shovey thing.
Yeah, like go in the corner and run around in a circle by yourself.
Yes, I'm not a fan of that. I don't mind it if there's a big group and everybody's kind of like moving in a way.
Like literally you don't know what to do with yourself, so you're going to run around
but like
in circles.
The shoving and the pushing, and then the crowd surfing drives me nuts because you're trying to watch the band, but you're constantly looking over your shoulder and like waiting for a foot to hit you in the head. Anyway. That's not something we have to worry about right now.
Don't hate on skank dancing. Is it called skank?
Skanking? You skank around the world. That's the like a lot of like high knees, high elbows thing. Not the like punching, pushing, shoving thing.
It's called skank?
Skanking? Yeah. You skank to the beat.
That's not what I thought skank meant. I thought skank.
Well, there's other meanings for the word, but in this context, it's just dancing. It's like, and it's not.
Watch any ska or punk show in Japan, and moshing is a total thing. Okay, yes. So you told me that
Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra.
Yes, that ska in Japan is a thing. I mean, I don't know these things until you introduced me, and I guess they so it's yeah. I retract my racist comment about why people can't dance. So
well, there's a difference between like a lot of people moving and like moving in unison versus people like literally when it's pushing, kicking, punching, and you're like,
I think because
this is a song with a trombone solo in it. Like, what are you doing?
I don't, because whenever I've gone to places like venues where music is played, there's no mosh pit.
Well, yeah, I mean EDM is more. It is dancey. And like bouncy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like bouncy.
I mean, I'm not saying it's better. There's other, vices happening there, but
what?
I can dig ska. Listen to that without knowing what it was.
That's what I didn't know what it was, but I just knew growing up I was like, whenever this stuff comes on with like the horns and like the upbeat guitar, I really like it. And then I learned what it was.
Since I can't get on Clubhouse, I'm going to create an off-brand network called Mosh Pit or Facebook or Friendster.
Mosh.
Okay, James.
And instead of waving and thumbs up, it's like push, shove, kick. Those are the like reactions.
So like we got into discussion about the music that I used to like in the 2010s, like 2000s, and I feel bad because like Tom pointed out to me that a lot of the songs I liked always talk about the club. Do we have this conversation on the couples table already?
I don't think we've had it officially.
Yeah, so and I was like, yeah, that's so weird. It does.
They say like up in the club, and I didn't listen to these things. I also didn't go to clubs, so I'm always like, what is the club?
James and I went to clubs all the time. Like
you went to clubs, but the club.
And it's crazy. It didn't even occur to me that like I was singing the song, and it was so exciting because I could literally be like in the club that we're at right now. And you're like, what club is this?
What is the club?
Which club are we going to?
Where is the club?
Anyway, Dominic runs in a circle by
break up our dog things real quick.
Luis says skank is a totally different meaning in South Florida. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Couple Scott therapy. What a live stream. Yeah, so Scott is a thing. Let's see. I love Scott because Tom loves Scott, and I just love seeing Tom talk and love the things that he loves.
Is there a better sentence your wife could say?
That was so poorly worded.
No,
okay, so Japan likes Scott. Is there other countries? Is it a worldwide like phenomenon?
Well, yeah. I mean, you got England and the UK.
We got England Scott?
That's Ron when he's like, I'm skanking around my living room right now.
I always thought it was. I did not think that's what he was talking about.
Oh yeah, that's why I just imagined Ron going in a circle in his living room.
So that's skanking.
Yeah. I mean, you can find look up a video of somebody skanking.
I've never heard that term before. I literally didn't
know
what
that
that
in the song, the Mighty Mighty Boston song I was referencing, that's like one of the things is like skanking around the world is like a lyric in the song.
Look at you, you're so happy.
I know.
It's
sorry.
So cute.
When do we get to talk about ska in 2021, you know?
Your photo got 3 kicks and a punch on Mosh Pit.
You got 3 kicks on a punch.
For Tom, club equals a group or association, a card suit, a caveman weapon, or a type of sandwich. Yes.
So up in the sandwich, I get it.
And I can't believe that during the phase of my life when I was super into clubbing, for some reason, the music that I was listening to was also super into club. Do they sing about the clubs anymore? I don't know.
I just listen to ska songs. I don't know.
Ska supremacy. James, phenomenon or skanomenon?
There we go. That's a thing though in ska bands is having ska in the name or the name of the song. Or
see, you and me know what skanking meant to us. I was not thinking. I was completely thinking.
No, I know. Trust me. I also went to public high school where people were not into ska, and they called people things. Words.
Okay. I got into ska through one of my cousins back as a wee 10-year-old, and then one of my best friends really liked the Aquabats, so it's been eternal.
Yeah. I mean, they're a good one for sure. That's always been a thing for band kids, too. Like, as a teacher, I can always kind of connect with band kids because they're usually into horns, which means they're at least familiar with ska.
Yeah, and it has what a bizarre thing, like horns, trombones. It's actually musical.
I know, and that's what's so cool is taking these things like...
That's cool, yes, I agree.
You have to take time to learn how to play a trumpet. Like, you can't, I can learn how to play power chords on a guitar, but you can't just randomly learn trumpet in a few afternoons.
I feel like I would have been into it if someone had walked me through the journey. But
I think I think a lot of people's big intro to it of our generation was Mighty Mighty Boss Tones in Clueless, the movie. For me, though, it was Real Big Fish and basketball. That was my intro.
Do not start calling Subway the club.
I'm gonna go stop these guys because Finley's gonna.
So Finley, we don't know how, but he hurt his leg, and it's not broken, but he kind of limps. And so we've been trying to get the dogs to not wrestle, but they love wrestling with each other, and they're wrestling so hard that they're crashing into the wall. And yeah, Tom's very worried about our baby Korg here. They're so hyper right now.
It's because they ate. And then they got it in their heads that they're going to go on like a journey. But Finley, you can't go on WALK because you're not.
So anyway, I think that you should start a ska cast.
Tom talks ska.
Yeah, like wouldn't that be awesome? And
what
you
do
can
I talk
invite
about?
all your favorite people.
But what do I talk about in episode 9? You know, like
bring on the people. Be the platform that like.
I'm sure there's got to be.
Is there a ska cast?
There's got to be.
Is there a ska podcast? Okay.
And that's where there's like. Then there's like the music scene people who like know the stuff. And at this point, like literally I found people like telling me about ska music. And I'm like, I think I was into it when you were born, but I'll stay out of the conversation.
Ska. Okay, I typed in ska into the podcast
What
app.
are we going to get? The Ska Geek podcast. Ska Boom. Talk the ska. 23 minutes of ska. So it is a thing. Horn pod.
A ska podcast. 100% ska podcast. This is rad. Oh my god, this is like your writing.
Yeah, that was weird because that's like literally the logo of my high school band. But
Ska United. I want to see if these people are still active. Okay, let's see the Ska Geek podcast. Last episode, episode 157.
157.
That's cute. It's got 16 ratings.
Good for them.
Oh, all his old episodes are gone.
Oh.
He only has. That's weird. He only has 3 episodes. Okay. Ska Boom. Episode 20. Rock stars who played ska.
When was that from?
This is from Friday.
Oh, okay. See, active.
So active. But, like, only on episode 20.
Because all the ska fans are now millennials with podcasts.
Aw, this is cute. You should reach out to this guy. I bet he knows who you are because he has a roadcaster because of you.
Oh, there's the tie-in.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. These people. I mean, I'm sure your ska influence comes out on your channel. So when Tom is filming B-roll, he's listening to ska.
Yeah, most of the time. Or podcasts, but...
Mostly ska.
Yeah, mostly. My same Spotify playlist from ever.
Yeah. So anyway.
Woof.
Ska is a music genre that originated in Jamaica in the late 1950s and was a precursor to rocksteady and reggae. It combined elements of Caribbean mento and calypso with American jazz and R&B.
If you knew that, amazing. If you copy and pasted it. Yeah, so here's the interesting thing is ska came before reggae, which you would kind of think is the opposite because reggae is usually slower and more mellow, and you just sort of assume that's where it began, and then it went into like the faster pace thing. But no. Interesting.
Okay, I love this. Name this artist who sings this lyric. Music makes me lose control.
I have the rhythm of that lyric.
Music makes me lose control.
I don't know, though. I don't know.
This is like
Britney Spears.
Me and James is like inside joke.
Do you know what you call a pop star's group of friends?
Groupies.
Britney's peers.
Stop. Since you guys are in California, could you live stream from the backyard? I live in Iowa and it's frozen over. Are you serious?
Oh, you know what? That's funny because
it's hot.
Yeah, well, actually today it's
a
little chilly. It's 63 degrees.
Okay.
But I was thinking for some of my like roadcaster videos, I was like just gonna film it outside for no reason. But
oh my god, it might rain.
This is like our winter now, but an outdoor.
Do you know how exciting it is when it rains?
Oh, it's so great.
I have never seen falling snow, so I can't imagine.
My goal is to be with you when you see falling snow. For the
I'm gonna lose it. I think
because it's weird because it's quiet.
Oh yeah,
because rain makes noise, but snow doesn't.
You can break down individual songs for. You know what? Oh my god!
Oh, here it is.
My god! You should start a ska clubhouse room. Get all your ska peeps.
There we go.
Oh my gosh! This would be a precursor. Just be like, okay, let's talk ska.
Let's get down to the brass tacks. Let's talk ska.
Ska Boom is the best name I've ever heard.
It's pretty good.
Let's see. If it doesn't exist on your channel, it doesn't exist. Some Ludwig guy I watched a video of today.
I've heard that in a video, but I haven't made the video. I was actually just telling Heather about that.
How crazy. Share the Spotify playlist link. I think the world could be ready for Tom Skanks.
I don't know about that.
Y'all should come to NJ. Snow is going to happen all around January. I can't believe
Yeah, the last time I was in snow was in New York, and it was negative 22 degrees.
The coldest weather I've been in was probably 24 degrees in Portland.
Positive 24?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to New
22
York
was
in
a
December.
different thing.
There was snow on the sidewalk, but it wasn't falling.
It wasn't snowing. Yeah.
It wasn't even snow. It was like gross, like sidewalk snow.
From, like dirty snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not fun.
That's gross.
Because this was I flew from New York direct to Palm Springs where it was 90 degrees.
Oh, here it is, guys. This is Tom's other favorite thing to do.
Right. Because it was anyway. I did it over a long weekend just because they put these like flights together out of our like Palm Springs, which is our local airport.
I love this about you, though.
Yes, for like $200 round trip direct to JFK, under 5 hours. So I went on like a long February weekend, and it was crazy because then like
it was snowing.
It was snowing, and then which actually was funny because I got trapped in the airport with one of our school administrators just by coincidence. So I couldn't take the next day off because they knew
they saw you.
But then the next day I was at school and I was like telling a kid like I was touching the World Trade Center yesterday and now I'm here. It's like so weird.
God, I love that you love that.
I can't get over that kind of stuff.
Patrick, Heather came to Iowa for the caucus and it wasn't snowed over. I actually went to the satellite Iowa caucus in Palm Springs.
Definitely not snowed over.
Yeah, I'm like not snowed over
Actually,
at all.
It snowed in Palm Springs this week.
Because there's a lot of people from Iowa who come here for the winter because obviously it's Palm Springs weather and it's gorgeous. And then they leave to go back, in April.
They just chase the good weather.
Yeah, we get the snowbirds here. I would love to go to Iowa. That'd be cool.
I want to go there.
Oh my gosh.
Have some corn.
So anyway, pandemic.
Right. So this sums up our mental states of how we're coping.
So everyone this week, our homework is to listen to some ska.
Yeah.
You're going to spread the influence of ska.
Aquabat's got a new album just came out, Kooky Spooky.
Okay, so you guys, I think my favorite ska song.
Oh.
Look at you. You're so.
I want to know.
Is shoot, what is it called? It's by the Aquabats.
Okay, even better.
But see, this I don't even know if this counts because it's the least ska sounding.
Oh, is it
song.
Look at Me, I'm a Winner?
Yeah, I love that song.
That's a good song. That's a very rock song, but that's a good song.
I like it.
With a screaming guitar solo in the middle.
Mm-hmm. And then anything by the Interrupters. So
yeah, they're always good. Yeah, and Goldfinger just had their new album come out, which has some pretty great songs.
Something about the Tequila Sunrise. I like that song.
That's a good one too. Get What I Need. That's a good song. I love that one. That's where Travis Barker played the drums on a Goldfinger album. Come on, that's amazing.
Oh
anyway,
my God,
I'll stop.
Adorable. Anyway.
There was a point, at Back to the Beach, where it was during Goldfinger's set.
You guys are so I feel bad because I saw what was happening, but it was like the greatest case of FOMO I've ever had because I saw that like the most incredible epic thing was happening, but I didn't understand the gravity of the situation.
There was a set where on stage John Feldman was playing, lead guitar with Goldfinger with like Mike Herrera on bass and their current lineup at the time, Travis Barker on drums, but Aaron Barrett from Real Big Fish on guitar with I can't think of his name, but the dude from No Doubt on bass, also on bass, but also the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones were there on horns, also with the Aquabats there, also with the Interrupters there, also with Tim Armstrong.
On the same stage at the same time.
Like
yeah,
playing...
and like he was losing his mind.
Yeah,
and I
saw Goldfinger play Superman with Aaron Barrett on guitar and Travis Barker on drums. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh, that was the best. Anyway.
I know, you were so excited. Like every time a new person came out, you were like, oh my God.
I know. It's like, I know they're all there, but it was just like everybody. And Mighty Mighty Boss Tone set, by the way, unreal. They're so good. I've always heard about how good they are live, but I had never seen them before. And
okay, so Tom's going to start the Scott cast.
It would just be this. It would just be going like, this was cool. It'd be like the Chris Farley thing from SNL. You remember the time? That was cool. That's my whole podcast.
Skeleton Inside Me by the Aquabats will convert anyone. What is that song? I've never heard that song.
It's on their new album. It's on Kooky Spooky. I'm a big fan. I really came around to Monsters and
Heather's favorite ska song. Check it out
Aliens
after the stream.
Monsters?
Okay, now I need to know what this is.
Check it out after this stream. So anyway, wow, yikes. Here we go.
I need to know what this ska song is.
She's going to the link. I don't think he's rickrolling you.
It
is Look at Me, I'm a Winner. You're going to get a copyright.
I'm going to get Aquabats. I'm going to get copyright. Yeah, but you know what's so crazy about the Aquabats? So Tom is like BFFs with the brother of the lead singer.
That's right, with Parker. Well, I don't know if we're BFFs, but half of the artwork on my wall is from Parker Jacobs, who's the professor for the Aquabats.
I mean, they're friends. You guys are friends. I would 100% call you friends. He would call you a friend.
That would be an honor. And he did teach a 2-day workshop in my class like a few years ago.
Yeah,
and
like
that was
how
amazing.
cool is that?
That was amazing. Not just to work with someone.
I like Shark Fighter.
Not just to work with someone you admire, but like to work with them. Like they're coming to a thing you're doing. That's really cool.
That's so cute.
Yeah. It was, yeah.
So anyway.
I know. I'm excited.
Pandemic.
You know what? We just follow. It's organic.
So everyone's going to listen to ska after this.
Yeah. That's what it's really going to, it's going to really pick things up for 2021 as we head out. So now day 365 is like ska albums through the roof. First we did GameStop.
So what would you recommend? Because I said my recommendations. What would you recommend?
I've been thinking of putting together a Spotify playlist that I could just make public. I have one, but it's not there yet. I mean, interrupters are good if you like punky stuff. If you want to get into like super energetic, like third wave ska, just do The Fury of the Aquabats, any song on the album. Play-Doh's my favorite Aquabat song. If you want something that's more, that's a little bit newer, Goldfinger's new albums are really great.
I really think we should jump on Clubhouse and do a ska room right now. I just want to see who'd go in.
It'd feel like nobody. It'd be.
See, but you always say this. He always does this. He's like, no one's gonna watch my videos. No one's gonna do this. And then like 50,000 subscribers later.
My ska channel is gonna be the one that gets the silver play button.
You know what? That's fine. Anyway.
Yeah, well, this was fun. I had a lot of fun.
I see a giant Aquabats piece of art next to Tom's face. Dude, our entire house is Aquabats.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Literally Aquabats.
This is a Back to the Beach poster. This is a Parker Jacobs art. This is an Aquabats album cover.
Like, I know these faces.
Parker Jacobs art.
We went to the freaking, like, DVD
art.
release because for some reason the Aquabats also have a TV show, which is, like, so random.
Well, they've been trying to get that off the air since, like, the 90s, but it took until 2013. Anyway.
Couple Table has been a great 1 hour-ish escape from the pandemic.
See, there we go. That's all we need. That's all we need.
Well, I think it's time to clear the table.
It's time to clear the table. So, no, never mind. I was gonna play a ska song, but it'll give you a copyright thing.
Yeah, but don't you have like copyright-free ska?
But it's Epidemic, which is tied to my specific account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's Epidemic. If you want to know Epidemic sound, the thing that won me over is they have a ska section, which is crazy. None of the other sites have that, let me tell you. So anyway, thank you guys for listening.
This was fun.
This has definitely been a ride. Hope you're clear the table time.
It's time to clear the table.
All right.
See you guys next week.
Stay safe. Have fun.
Stay safe. Have fun. Listen to ska music.
Yeah. Stay safe. Have fun. Listen to ska. Pick it up.